program is brought to you by City Government of Addis Ababa Education Bureau with collaboration Addis Media Network. I am Miss Nabila. Students, today we are going to learn about adjective comparison. Before that, students, do you remember our previous lesson? Before we closed, I gave you homework. I hope you all have finished that homework. Students, remind me, what was previous lesson? Bravo, students. It was imperative, sentences. When we come to imperative sentence, as a definition, this is also a part of structure of sentences like declarative, interrogative, and exclamatory. So when we come to imperative sentences are that show instruction, command, or request. When we come to imperative sentences, that gives instruction for teachers for students, parents to students, and whatever. They show instruction and command. When we come to imperative sentences, we can use two punctuation marks. The first one, full stop. Here is question mark. Sorry. Here is exclamatory mark. We can use both of them to show imperative sentences. Sometimes full stops when the instructions are request. For example, please close the door. Here is full stop. This is request. Ask something and request something with this very polite word by using please close the door. Please close the door. Let us use exclamatory mark. This is show instruction with command. So here it is. Don't disturb. Here is exclamatory mark. Let us use another example. Be quiet. Here is even we are using exclamatory mark. Exclamatory mark because this is a command. We can use imperative sentence to show request and sometimes commanded. Both of are part of imperative sentences. So when we come to here, we can use as a command, as also instruction and request. So we can use both full stop and exclamatory to show imperative sentences. Students, this was our previous lesson. Let us start today's lesson. Today, we are going to start the most interesting topic. It's called adjective comparison. Adjective comparison. Students, before start the topic, what is adjective? And what is comparison? Before we start the lesson, what is adjective and what's comparison? After this lesson, students identify comparative adjective and superlative adjective. So students, what is adjective? When we start this grade 4 lesson, we will learn about parts of speech. So here is adjective is also included in parts of speech. So let us write the title. Adjective comparison. Adjective comparison. Before we start adjective comparison, what is adjective? Adjective is a word which is describe a noun. And also, this gives more information, more detail about the noun. So, adjective is related with what? Noun. So, when we come to adjective, we can use different adjectives. For example, color adjective, size adjective, shape adjective. Sometimes even some adjectives that describe the person. Sometimes beauty, sometimes how long the person is, and etc. and how it's look like the person, maybe animal, maybe things. This is the use of adjective. Before that, let me mention some adjective words. Tall, big, bright, beautiful. These are words that show adjective. These are words are called adjective that show how the noun look like. So when we come to here, when we said adjective, these are adjective words, and how we are going to use them as a comparison. So when we come to here, easily, when we said comparison, comparing two things, easily, by using at the end of the adjective er. Here is beautiful. We are going to say more beautiful. So here is comparative adjective. So beautiful, more beautiful. These are examples for comparative adjective. So when we said comparative, that's easily comparing two things. How we are saying? Comparing two things. Abel is taller. Here is Zan. Abdu. Look, student. Abel is taller than Abdu. Abel is taller than Abdu. When we come to here, easily, after with using er, easily add what? Zan. Because this is comparing how many things? Two things. So let me add one more example. Sarah is shorter. Sarah is shorter than what? Zan. Sami. So easily, students, here is shorter, and we are using Zan because we are comparing two things. Sarah is shorter than Sami. Sarah is shorter than Sami. So here is short, shorter. Tall, taller. Let us use. Elephant is bigger than lion. So here is, students, elephant is bigger than lion. Elephant is bigger than lion. So when we come to here, we are using big, bigger. Why we are make it double G? Because this is a stressed word. Stressed word. Big, bigger. Big, bigger than lion. So here is tall, taller, short, shorter, big, bigger. Easily by adding what? Er at the end of the words. At the end of the words. And some adjectives are called long syllable. Long syllable. They are long words like, or they are engaging, it's called even two-syllable adjective or long syllable adjective. For example, beauty, beautiful. We are not saying what? Beautifuler, or we are not adding er at the end. So we are going to use what? More beautiful. More beautiful. More beautiful. So this is how we are making, for example, by adding more before the adjective words. For example, intelligent. Intelligent also. This is example of long syllable. So we are saying what? More intelligent. More intelligent. What we said? Easily by adding more before the adjective words. So students, what we are seeing, adjective is a word which is describe noun, and more detail and more information about noun easily by using, when we come to comparison, comparative words, using comparative words, we can have two comparison in an adjective, comparative adjective and superlative adjective, comparing two things. As a definition, comparative adjective is comparing only how many things? Two things together. Maybe person, maybe animal, maybe things even. We can compare them, but it is how many of them? Two of them. When we come to superlative, adjective, we are comparing one thing with many things, or the only each thing with other things, like the whole thing sometimes. So when we come to here, we are adding est after the one adjective. For example, tall, tallest, est. Big, biggest. Big, biggest. Tall, tallest. Wide, widest. Small, smallest. Look, students, we are using est at the end of the adjective words. Tall, tallest. Big, biggest. Wide, widest. Small, smallest. And also we can have the same like comparative adjective with long syllable adjectives. We are using here what? Most. So, for example, most beautiful. Most beautiful. Most beautiful. To make long syllable adjective, easily adding what? Most. Students, let me give you some examples and let me show you how we are using superlative adjective. Font is the, before, every day before superlative adjective, we are using what? The. After comparative adjective, we are using what? The. After the adjective. So, elephant is the biggest animal. So, we are comparing elephant with the whole animals, maybe wild animals. We are comparing before, when we compare elephant with only with what? Lion. But here, with what? The whole animal. One each thing with the whole thing. This is how we are using superlative adjective. Let us continue. Sami is the tallest boy in our class. Sami is the tallest boy in our class. In our class. Let us continue. Sarah is the most beautiful girl in our school. Look, students, this example. Easily, we are using Sarah compare with our school, the whole compound. She is the most beautiful. The most beautiful. Because we are using most for beautiful. This is long syllable adjective. Sarah is the most beautiful girl in our school. Sarah is the most beautiful girl in our school. Here is Sami is the tallest boy in our school. We are comparing Sami with the whole classroom. Here is elephant is the biggest animal. The biggest animal. This is how we are using adjective. It's called superlative adjective, comparing with things, the whole things. When we come to comparative adjective, easily comparing things what with what? One by one. Two things. We are comparing two things, like students with students, things with things, and animals with animals. Students, let me give you some words and let us change with their form of superlative and comparative form. Here is comparative. Here is superlative. So here is, let us write first adjectives, fast. Here is cold, dark, high, is long. So here is the students, some adjectives. Let us change with their comparative form and superlative form. So here is fast, faster. Here is fastest. Here is cold, colder, colder. Here is coldest. Here is dark, darker. Here is darkest. Here is high, higher, highest. Here is long, longer. Here is longest. So, students, here is, it's not long syllable adjective, it's not irregular adjectives. These are regular adjectives. Look, this example, fast, faster, fastest. Cold, colder, coldest. Dark, darker, darkest. High, higher, highest. Long, longer, longest. Irregular adjectives. Adjectives. Good, bad, many, well. So, better. Here is bad, worse. For many, more. For well, also we can use better. And when we come to best, bad, worse, worst, more. Here is many, more, most. Well, better, and here is best. Students, these superlative and comparative adjectives, they are called irregular because we can't add ER or ESC at the end of these words. This called irregular adjectives. You are just changing the words to make comparative and superlative form of these words. They are not two-syllable adjective. It's called what? Irregular adjective. These are, we take, small and not many of them. These are few words are presenting here. You can have more words and you can find them. But for today, let us practice these words together. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Many, more, most. Well, better, best. You can use after comparative adjective than. Before superlative adjectives, you can use the. This is how you are going to use it. Students, let me give you activity and let us practice how we can use adjective comparison. Activity 1. Change the following adjectives with comparative and superlative form. So students, let me give you words and you are going to change them. So here is adjective. Here is comparative. Here is superlative. Little, power, full, boring, old. Students, here are 4 words you can change with their comparative form and superlative form. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll be here and I'll give you correction. I hope you all have finished this activity. So here is question number 1. It's called little. When we come to comparative form, less. Because students, this is regular adjective. Regular adjective. Little, less, least. Here is students. Let us continue. Powerful. This is 2-syllable adjective. You can notice from the word. So, more powerful. And also here, most powerful. Here is boring. You can use. This is also long syllable. More boring, most boring. And here is old, older. Here is oldest. So, students, these are the questions. Little, less, least, powerful, more powerful, most powerful. Boring, more boring, most boring. Old, older, and oldest. Students, this is the question for activity 1. I hope you all are get your correction. So students, let us summarize today's lesson. What is the topic of today? What we are learning? Bravo, students. Today, we are learning about adjective comparison. Adjective is a word that describe noun. More detail, more information about noun. When we come to comparison, it's comparing two things or one thing with other or the whole thing. We will learn about also comparative adjective. When we come to comparative adjective, we are comparing two things by using adjectives as their end, adding er. And also, we were learning about superlative adjective. When we come to superlative adjective, we can compare one each thing with the whole thing. So we can use est at the end of the adjective words. And also two long or 2-syllable adjective words, we are using more for comparative, most for superlative adjective. And we will learn also irregular adjectives that are not adding er or est. Even they are not also 2-syllable adjective. We are changing the whole words. For example, we can mention little, less, least. We can mention even, many, more, most. These are an example of irregular adjective. Students, this is today's lesson. Let me give you homework and you can practice your home these questions and answers. Here is adjective. You can change with their comparative. And here is superlative. Ale, difficult, thick, small, honest. Students, this is your homework. Don't forget to try your homework in your home. Students, see you the next time and the next lesson. Goodbye, students.